Hello again, horizontal lovers. Today is day 10 of my 28-day video challenge. And I'm here at the villa, another villa, a villa in Bali, thinking about how much I'm longing to be touched. My primary love language is physical touch. And I have been a very particular physical touch person since I was a young one. I didn't sit, as I mentioned, on the laps that were offered me. I was very particular about which laps I sat on, and I'm kind of proud of little me for drawing those clear boundaries. And I'm still very particular about the laps that I sit on. I find myself in a pretty constant state of touch deprivation. Touch hunger is something that I'm incredibly familiar with, and I think there's only one time that I can really think of in my life when I went to Miami to meet a lover who I had been communicating with online, who I hadn't met in person yet, and I spent a week or two, maybe two, with him in Miami and had sex twice a day and had just as much touch as I wanted. I was satiated in a way that I have never experienced before or since, and I would really like that. I'm really longing for sensual connection, and it doesn't only have to be in a romantic or sexual context. I love sensual connection with my housemate Valentine. He and I would cuddle and watch Fleabag and watch movies together, and his touch was so nurturing and loving and sensual, sometimes bordering on sexy but not sexual. The enticement was not about what we wanted to do together, but about how it feels to be touched, how it feels to be touched with presence and care, and I have chills, touching myself, and slowness. I touch myself all the time. You probably notice even in these videos that I'm constantly touching my ear, I'm constantly touching my arm or my throat or my neck. I do it as a form of self-soothing as well. It's a way that I can calm myself down. And as a person with a history of anxiety and anxiety that runs in my family, I think on both sides, probably pretty far into my ancestry, it's powerful that I've found tools, and particularly this tool of self-soothing. When I was a kid, my mom used to run her fingertips on my back to help me to go to sleep, and it's still my absolute favorite thing. If you offered me an hour of fingertips running along my body, and you were somebody I wanted to receive fingertips running along my body from, and you offered me a choice between an hour of feather-light fingertips and an hour of massage, I would probably choose the fingertips. That's how powerful that kind of touch is for me. I love many, many different kinds of touch. I teach a workshop called The Art of Touch because I want us to be able to expand our touch palette. The paints that we use, the ways that we are accustomed to touching people might get into grooves, and it might behoove us to learn other ways, to mix our paints together, to learn other techniques. So, as a physical touch person who has no romantic partner currently, who hasn't had a lover in several months, who is far from her closest friends and in a magical land having an adventure, my physical touch-ometer is quite low, and I do long for it. I'm touching myself, I'm self-pleasuring as I enjoy my life, and it is helpful, but it is not the same. My friend Jeremy has a mother who is a psychologist, and she said to him, a person needs 8 hugs a day just to feel normal. Think about that. 8 hugs a day just to feel normal, not even to feel great, not even to feel beloved, just baseline normal. I can hardly think of many days in my life, except for those 2 weeks that I was talking about, that I had 8 hugs a day. Even though I live in an intentional community, even though I run in circles where people do hug and cuddle, and I have access to cuddle parties and play parties, and still my physical touch needs are unmet to the level that I desire them to be. And my tank is always running on nearly empty. 8 hugs a day. Wow, you know how transformational it would be if I had 8 hugs a day. As I said, I'm very particular about who I receive touch from, and people can find me very frosty sometimes because I simply cannot receive physical touch from anyone at any moment and feel good about it. It is a chemistry, it is a timing, and it matters my emotional state, and it matters the context. So, I would love to live in a world where we can get these 8 hugs a day, not just from children when they are young. I think that's how a lot of parents are able to get their touch needs met, and why they're actually so attached to their children, not just the biological, but simply because they get so much affection and care from them. I think that's why people are so attached to their dogs, because there is this unmitigated joy at your presence and unmitigated affection for you. And we're longing for that, and we're not getting it from humans. Most of us are not getting it from humans. So I'm going to endeavor, even in this place where I don't know many people, to see if I can meet that 8 hugs a day and ask for hugs from the people that I really want them from, and ask if we could do them for longer. Because there is when you first put your arms around someone, there's a sort of testing, like, okay, can I settle? How long can we be here together? And maybe I'm raising my shoulders up a little bit, I'm not quite so relaxed. But then if it continues at the same pressure, or even deepens and gets a little stronger and a little more gushy and a little more powerful, then my shoulders start to go down, and I take a big exhale, and I can relax into the touch. So I also read an article that said 20 seconds at a minimum to hug someone can change your physiological experience of being. May you have 8 hugs a day. If you love this, I think you'll enjoy listening to Horizontal, the podcast of intimate conversations recorded while reclining. And please join my live video show. I did it from right here on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. The next topic is going to be something around open relationships, wanting what we want, and trying to figure that out based on what we think we want, or going against what we think we want. It's still formulating, and if you have more ideas, let me know. I love you. I'm so happy to be here in beautiful Bali and in this gorgeous villa. Signing off now. If you can't get those 8 hugs, hug yourself.